Let's eat here on the Professional Edge. What does that actually mean? Well, that means the E stands for estate plan, A is a financial plan, and T is your tax plan. So let's eat. Best place to get started on that is emcthebundle.com. That is Echo Mary Charlie, thebundle.com. So let's get to that last letter, T, a tax plan. So what is your tax plan? We're getting ready with our taxes. We're filing those, and fortunately, the IRS gave us a little extension this year. Not as good as last year where we went to July, but at least we get till May 15th. So when you're doing your taxes now, that's not really having a tax plan. About the only thing you can really do significantly is make a contribution to a regular IRA that would immediately reduce down your tax liability this year for your tax filing season of 2020. Not too significant. You can put $6,000 in as long as you have enough earned income, and if you're a stay-at-home spouse, as long as your working spouse has $12,000, being under the age of 50, you can put a total of $12,000. If you're over the age of 50, then it's $7,000 a piece, $14,000. That will immediately reduce your tax liability for 2020. So that's one way to have a tax plan. But as a listener here on the Professional Edge, we all know that tax planning is over the course of the year. So now is when you should be implementing your tax plan for 2021, not when you are gathering your tax documents. So let's think about this, a tax plan. So when you're looking at your 1099 that you receive from your brokerage firm, if you're this do-it-yourself person or you're working with a stockbroker, they are not licensed to give you tax advice. So again, you're making financial decisions with no tax advice. That doesn't make any sense to me because we all know that taxes impact your actual net rate of return. It's what you get to keep. So even though your portfolio went up in value, let's say you didn't touch anything inside your after-tax brokerage account, you are paying tax on that money. Look at your 1099. You have dividends, qualified dividends. You have capital gains distributions. Wow. So those numbers are coming through on your 1040 tax return on Schedule B as in boy, D as in dog. Those have tax impact. So when you calculate that and you pay your marginal tax rate, that is money you actually have to subtract off, if you're being honest with yourself, on what your actual net rate of return is. So if we lose this percentage on the tax band, even though you've not spent any of that money, net taking a distribution from your after-tax brokerage account, well, your rate of return is not really the true rate of return, which you thought it was. It's what you keep that actually counts to your actual rate of return. And that's where out-of-state management counselors, being a tax attorney and a CPA, we are licensed to give our clients tax advice as it relates to their investment portfolio. That's the unique combination that we have at estate management counselors. We do implement a tax plan to reduce the amount of taxes our clients pay. Just for example, rolling over a 401k to an IRA. There's an NUA analysis you need to perform to see if you can benefit from that tax-wise. NUA, net unrealized appreciation. Some of our listeners, unfortunately, are just going to Google that and think about how they're going to figure it out themselves. Because A, you can leave tens of thousands of dollars on the table in unnecessary taxes if you don't do the NUA analysis correctly and do the transaction correctly. And it is unfortunate, just like you having a cavity. Are you going to go to Home Depot or Lowe's and buy a high-speed drill, because that's what the dentists use, to fill your cavity, and then get some silver solder out of the plumbing aisle? You wouldn't think twice about doing that, but for some reason you think money is easy and tax planning is easy and you're going to do it yourself. Well, I'm telling you, you're leaving money on the table. So to get started on having a professional assist you or see if we can add value, that's the first thing. We got to be able to add value before there's any chance of a working relationship, or get your estate plan in order, a financial plan, and your tax plan. give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. The other thing we've done here on the Professional Edge is we put this up on a podcast. So if you go to your iPhone or Google Podcasts, we're on there. All you need to do is type in Professional Edge. You'll see my mugshot there. I'm in a blue shirt. And pass this on. If you like what we're hearing and your colleague is thinking about retiring or they want to eat, have their estate plan done, have a financial plan and a tax plan, then pass this along to them and say, you might want to listen to this guy on the Professional Edge. He sort of understands how to get these three things coordinated. I don't know how to talk, but I know how to get these three items coordinated: your estate plan, your financial plan, and your tax plan. Again, the discipline is being a tax attorney, being a licensed CPA, being a certified financial planner. We put these three disciplines together for the benefit of our clients. And we've structured a website specifically for that advantage. Here, a listener on the Professional Edge, and that is emcthebundle.com. That is Echo Mary Charlie, thebundle.com. So back to a tax plan. You might have purchased a new smartphone. iPhone 12 came out. It's magic. The camera is amazing. The processing is incredible, but there is an incredible price tag to that. Let's say it's $1,200, real close. Tax tag and title going out on that thing is $1,200. If you bought that personally, you don't get any tax deduction. But if you have a business and you buy that smartphone and you use it for business, we check our emails, we send texts, and we take business calls, then we, at least my counsel and advice would be that you could probably move part of the cost of that phone over to the business side and take a business tax deduction for that. Maybe even a 179 election to expense your business portion of that off. And that way you have moved the cost of that. Let's say it's 80% on $960. You're in the 20% tax bracket, and therefore you saved $180. So just in you listening here on the Professional Edge, by moving that over, creating that from a personal expense to a valid business expense, not saying to lie, cheat, and steal from the Internal Revenue Service, but if you're legally entitled to claim that and you use that percentage-wise for business, go ahead and take that as a tax deduction. And, you know, I see that time and time again. I ask, when do you replace your cell phone? Client says, I did this. We find out that they have a business and they didn't claim that on their taxes. They said, well, I didn't know I could claim that. I just handed my stuff to my tax return preparer and boom, out it comes. There is no counsel and advice, no tax planning. So that's why we're eating. Get your estate plan in order. A is for a financial plan, and T is for your tax plan. So just by moving this cell phone over to your business expense deduction, 80% on that $1,200 is $9,600. So, or not $9,600. I wish that would be magic, but 8 times 12 is 96, or is it 84? It is 12 times 8 is 96. So we have $960 of a tax deduction, 20% bracket. We've saved you $180 by just tuning in to the Professional Edge. So where's the other tax advantage that we can do? Well, if you're that self-employed individual and you retired a little bit early, we know that if you're not qualified for Medicare, then we have extensive health insurance premiums. So why don't we create a little side business, generate enough income to where we can offset our health insurance premiums? So if you don't have this small business and you are paying these health insurance premiums, we know that those are medical expense deductions. Those are subject to a phase-out limit based on your AGI, and not likely that you're going to get any tax advantage of those health insurance premiums that you're paying of $1,200, $1,400 a month, whatever it might be. So let's restructure things. Let's get this small business going, and let's take your health insurance premiums right off the top. 100% deduction for that. And therefore, you could earn that $15,000 in your small business, and we have $15,000 of health insurance premiums. We can write that entirely off, and therefore you do get a tax advantage. So we move these personal expenses over to the valid business expense deduction, and therefore we save our clients significant amounts. So $15,000, 20% bracket is $3,000 in tax savings. Think about that. Just by you listening here, we've saved you $200 in taxes, and now we've saved you another $3,000 in taxes. That's what we do at Estate Management Counselors, being a tax attorney, a CPA, certified financial planner. We integrate this. And that's why this show is Let's Eat. Let's get your estate plan done. Let's get a financial plan. And T, let's do some tax planning. So let's eat. The best place to eat is at emcthebundle.com. That is Echo Mary Charlie thebundle.com. Or to Let's Eat. The easy other way to do that is if you have your cell phone, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. Just got to take that first step, and then we review things. A lot of our listeners, unfortunately, have last will and testaments that are on what I call placemat paper. It is, you could hang it on the wall. It's so thick. And you know who I'm talking to. So again, we're Let's Eat on this show. So E is for estate plan, A is for a financial plan, and T is for tax planning. So that is the coordination of these things. So are you going to have the right assets going to the right individuals at the right time? That's part of your estate plan. Are you going to put some creditor protection in that for your beneficiaries? It's easy to do on the front side, but you got to put it in place today. Then let's have a financial plan. Make sure that you're not going to run out of time before you run out of money. Make sure that you're on track for that safe and secure retirement. If you have that old 401k you were thinking about rolling over 5 years ago, you've lost your login information, you haven't looked at it, you haven't reallocated it, well, you're probably leaving money on the table, and you are responsible for your safe and secure retirement. So again, you got to take a little bit of action, and the first thing you can do to take action is gather some documents. Give our office a call. We'll send you the list of things that we need to take a look at. Set that appointment, and then we determine how we can help you. That's it. That's all we're trying to do, is get you to that safe and secure retirement, to get your estate plan done, and also not overpay the IRS. We're going to see taxes increase with this $1.9 trillion stimulus. It is unfathomable. Yeah, I can't even say that word because it's so significant. $1.9 trillion. Now, that's not the only stimulus. We had the one prior to that. So these are going to come into play. Where are those dollars going to be allocated, and how are you as a listener on the Professional Edge going to benefit from those dollars in the economy? That's part of that A financial plan. Where are you going to benefit from this stimulus? Not in the check in which you receive, but how are you going to allocate your investment portfolio to be in front of the parade that is coming? And again, it is strategic. So to have that conversation, give our office a call at 877-654-9798. That number again, 877-654-9798. So let's eat. We got to get your estate plan done, have a financial plan, and a tax plan. So we've touched on the tax planning, moving that cell phone bill. What about your iPad or your other smart device that you're going to have, your printer that you might buy, or a new CPU? By having that small business on the side, we're moving these non-deductible personal expenses over to the business side for the business portion of your planning, and that gives you significant tax advantages. So again, to start your small business, we also give counsel and advice on that as well. Do you need an LLC, an S Corp, a partnership, or a sole proprietorship? there are advantages to that. Are you going to make a valid S election? So those are all things for your tax plan. I appreciate you listening to the Professional Edge. My name's Todd, tax attorney, CPA, certified financial planner, host here on the Professional Edge. But let's eat. Let's get your estate plan done, get you a financial plan, and T, do some tax planning. Best place to start is emcthebundle.com. That is Echo Mary Charlie, thebundle.com. Appreciate you listening in. Be sure to share this podcast with other individuals. Again, go to any podcast and type in Professional Edge. You'll see a gentleman there with a blue shirt on. That's myself. You'll see my name, tax attorney, CPA. Again, thanks for listening to the Professional Edge.
With today's financial markets, are you getting the personal and professional attention you and your money deserve? Clients of estate management counselors benefit from having one set of professionals advise them on their tax, estate planning, and investment advice. We call that the Professional Edge. Todd is a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. With over 15 years' experience, he welcomes the opportunity to assist you in preparing for retirement, implement effective tax planning strategies, and to help you properly plan your estate. His radio show, The Professional Edge, is aired weekly on Sundays at 9 a.m. If you're interested in meeting with Scene, call his office at 877-654-9798. That's 877-654-9798. Do you want to feel more confident about making the right investment, tax, and estate planning decisions? Today, these decisions are more complex than ever. Have you thought about working with a professional advisor and not sure who to turn to? Not sure what qualifies one to be an advisor? Todd is more than qualified as a tax attorney, CPA, and certified financial planner. Is with Estate Management Counselors. Estate Management Counselors operates as an independent fee-only investment advisory firm. They're dedicated to gaining a personal understanding of their clients' objectives and implementing professional counsel and advice to achieve those objectives. So take a second to talk with Todd to learn how you can benefit from their multidisciplinary practice where they coordinate their clients' legal, tax, and investment strategies into one comprehensive and integrated plan to enhance and protect their clients' financial security. You can reach Estate Management Counselors and speak with Todd by calling 1-877-654-9798. That's 1-877-654-9798.